Welcome to Scriptural Snapshots, brought to you by Living Faith Ministries in Kaiser, West Virginia, where we bring the living Word of God into your life. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. We're studying about the spirit of liberty. And we just shared yesterday about Matthew 20, verses 25 and 26. Jesus says, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and those who are great exercise authority over them. Yet it shall not be so among you. But whoever desires to become great among you, let him be your servant." The way of the world is to put people under servitude. The way of God is you choose to become a servant to meet the needs of other people. Jesus, we said, concluded with this yesterday, Jesus exposes and destroys the ways of the world. He says the way of the world is dominion, but the way of the people of Christ, the way of God, is to become a servant, is to meet the needs. And Jesus laid his life down as an example to us. He washed Peter's feet, which is him serving people. He's still Lord, he's still Master, he's still God, he's still the final authority, but yet God in all of his power, think about it this way. God could come into the world and say, "You will bow to me and nothing else, and I will force you to do all these things." And he doesn't. God gave us free will. And this is a problem that a lot of people struggle with. God will not violate your free choice. He will not violate your desire to sin. So if God was really God, he would keep me from sinning. No, God gave you authority over yourself. You can choose to do whatever you want to do. You can live in the dominion of sin, or you can live in the freedom of God. Now, Jesus says, I want to go to Matthew chapter 23, verses 2 through 4. Jesus said, "The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. Therefore, whatever they tell you to observe, that observe and do." Now, this is because they have authority. They have the position. He says, you listen to them. Jesus is not teaching rebellion here, but he's teaching a lifestyle. He says, "But do not do according to their works." Listen to what they tell you to do, but don't do like they do. Why? Because they're seeking dominion over the people that are below them. He says, "For they say and they do not do." This is the problem with so many people in authority, and it's that temptation. You know, it's like all of us. It's not just people in authority, but every human being, we know what the right thing is to do, and often we will tell others what to do, but we are weak or we are insincere that we do not do those things for ourselves. I remember Casey Treat years ago, he said, most pastors are trying to live by what they preach. He said, you should preach what you live. If you preach what you live, you're going to be okay. But if you're trying to live what you're preaching, well, then you're preaching things that you are not actually seeing fulfilled in your life. You shouldn't tell others to do something that you're not willing to do and in process of doing for yourself. It's just real simple. We have parents that tell their kids, "You don't do this," and then the kids watch the parents do exactly what they told the kids not to do. They say, "Well, you don't smoke. You shouldn't do drugs." But the parents are doing drugs and the parents are smoking. They're telling the kids the right thing. And Jesus is saying, you need to listen to them, because a lot of times these people are telling you right things, but don't do according to what they do. Don't be the hypocrite and tell others to do something that you're not willing to do for yourself, or you're not strong enough to do for yourself. We need to live what we preach, not try to live what we preach, but we should preach what we live. Verse 4 in Matthew 23 says, "For they," the people in leadership, "bind heavy burdens, hard to bear, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers." They won't move. See, they're putting heavy burdens on you. We see this today. People want to ban gas stoves. Can you begin to believe? I think this is so dumb. But they want to ban gas stoves. And guess who will have gas stoves? The people trying to ban the gas stoves, because it's all about you. We are so concerned about polluting the atmosphere. So we have Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of Transportation, is refusing to reveal how many private jets he has taken. He's taken 16 at this point that we know of, but they're refusing to release that information. Why? Because he'd rather preach than live it. You know, it's like, this is common. I'm not just coming down on poor old Pete. This is the problem that so many people have. And it's like, do we need to live safely? Yes. Do we need to protect the environment? Yes. Do we need to save the animals? Yes. But you cannot do those things and tell, or I'll put it this way, you cannot tell everybody else to do those things and not do it yourself. Yes, we need to live environmentally friendly, but what does that mean? See, you can't even debate it in our society today. Why? Because you have people that want to lord it over others, and they don't want to debate, because a debate will destroy their premise. And their basic premise is, I want to control you, I want to dominate you, and I want to be in charge, and you will do what I tell you to do. That's not biblical. It's not godly. It's not right. I'm Pastor Gordon Brubaker. God bless you.